and roller skating parties, that stuff. And
A little bragging
it was
coming out
really
here.
a lot. Outside of that, always getting a few fights after school once in a while, but nothing much.
You get in any trouble with your teachers?
No, not really.
Oh yes, well, it wasn't.
Oh, one teacher, she was well, I can't say it. But she was a mean old bugger, and she beat the heck out of my hand. She thought I was talking, but I wasn't. And anyway, my dad got that settled. He went to see the priest, and we squared that away.
Did you ever get in any trouble outside of school?
Once in a while, we'd get in a fist fight with somebody, you know, and that was common then, Somebody'd start pushing you around, well, you'd hit them back, and you get a black eye once in a while or a nosebleed or something. That's all it amounted to.
What about like on trains and stuff? Did you ever sneak rides?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I remember once in high school, there was
Johnny Weber.
I think it was a sophomore in high school, and our team was our football team. I was just a sub, so I didn't get to go with the team, and but we wanted to watch them play. So me and Toby Tolson and I think it was Johnny Weber. We hitchhiked up to Winona. They were playing Winona. Well, on the way back after the game, we thought, well, let's ride the train back. And so we got behind the engine in the next car, and we stood there holding onto some steel rods between the two cars, and that train was probably going 80, 90 miles an hour all the way from when it was cold. All I had was just white shirt on. And I had a hard time explaining to my mother the next day how come that shirt was just black.
Okay. Who was the first person you dated, Grandma?
Oh, I see. Well, there were a couple of them, but not anything real serious. Just the dances. Kenny Ebner and Charles Pierce. And that was just for the school dance. And then I met, let's see, I worked at the drugstore, and I went with the druggist a couple times, just out for dinner. And most of the times us girls would go out and to dances, and then especially in high school. My first formal, I went with Archie Brett, and I was going with him quite a few dates, but I also would go down to Grandpa's parents, and I'd
Hello.
see this picture up in the wall.
Hi, honey. Merry Christmas.
And I always thought, ooh, wow, I'd kind of like to meet him, go out with him. So when he
Jeremy
got home
and all the Millers
from
are
the
here.
army, us girls used to go
He's
down
got a camera here, and he's
Kennecott,
taking
Mass.
he's interviewing
And
us.
we met
I gotta
on
try
the
to
church
keep from
steps.
lying too much.
His sister introduced
Yeah,
us.
I know.
And the girls, then after Mass, and we
Oh,
went
we had
over
a
to
ham
the
and
Sweet
Nancy
Chops
bought some
right
stuff
across
down,
the street.
And we had a
And
good
after
meal.
church, we'd go over and have our Coke, and I said, I really I wish I could
Did
go
you
out with him.
spend the day alone?
They said, no way. He'll never ask you out. He's got too many girlfriends.
Oh,
Well, that night he called me up at the drugstore.
okay.
And the druggist would never let any boyfriends or girlfriends call. But they really liked Jim real well.
Well, and I
And
went to
that's when we
church
started
last night
going
at 4
steady.
o'clock at St. Mary's.
And then we'd go ice skating, dancing. And
Yeah, boy, that
out
was
with a
bad. There's been
bunch
over 1,000 people in that church. Yep.
his friends and their girlfriends
By
played
the way, it was
cards,
just beautiful.
played pool.
No, she didn't go.
And I did go roller skating with
They
him
really
too
had a
once.
nice ceremony.
And then we just fell in love and got kissy and married.
I don't like to.
Now let's see what Grandpa says about that
All
one.
them sweets and,
Are you gonna stop it for a little
Yeah.
bit?
Yeah.
Okay, I asked Grandma, now I have to ask Grandpa, who was the first person that you dated?
You have to tell the truth too.
God,
In high school.
These two are shorter, so ours is weird.
Tell them about the post office you used to play.
we play spin the bottle.
Four?
I'll never forget that some guy talked me into going to a party. I was 17 years old, Joey did. And so I didn't know the first thing about it. I used like I say, all I used to be interested in was hunting or fishing or something like that. I never thought much about the girls. And I got to this party and they get a milk bottle out. We all sat in a circle, you know, and they spin the bottle and it pointed towards me. Or no, it pointed towards one of the girls. And then she says, I'll take Jim. I thought, well, take me where, you know. And she says, come on. I said, where are we going? She's in the bedroom. I said, in the bedroom? Yeah. So I'm in the bedroom. She grabbed me and she gave me a big kiss, you know. What in the hell did I get into here? And I come back out, you know, and I couldn't wait till I got home so I could wash my mouth out.
Joey.
But then I got to thinking about it, you know, and I got to thinking, gee, that wasn't all that bad, you know. So, I don't know who the first girl I ever took out. I honestly don't know.
How about the first girl you kissed besides that girl?
Oh, gee, that's a
How about
tough
date
question.
wise?
You know, I mean,
They used to go out you guys too.
I'd have
Goose
to be a
Green.
mathematician to figure that
Okay.
out. Oh.
What was your first car? And
My
when
first
did,
car
when did
was
you
a
get,
Model A Ford. I paid $35 for it, and it run like a top. And I didn't sell it until I went in service when I was 20. I got it when I think I was 18 years old. And when I was 21, I went in service and I sold the car.
when did you get your license?
I got my license when I was 18.
Okay. Grandma, when did you get your license?
What was I, about 45? 45 years old.
Oh, you took your first less than 45 and you got your license when you were 15.
I flunked it 3 times. I flunked it 3 times. I did, I think it was 3 times, Nancy, and then remember they had me go out with another one.
Right, but
Right.
we always question why you flunked it, because you wanted to take more private lessons that Dad was paying for with that cute instructor.
And I passed.
Well, I took mod. I had a car that had a stick shift,
That was
and I was gonna
another
teach her how to
story.
drive, and she couldn't figure out why you had to push the clutch in to shift. And I could look back in the rearview mirror and I thought, sure, I could see parts laying in the back of the road.
That was the first and
Yeah, but
last
by the
time.
the end of the day, we weren't talking. We didn't speak for 2 days.
No more lessons
so-
with Grandpa.
So then you hired an instructor for her?
Yep.
Okay, what was your first job, Grandma?
Well, I babysat and I sold funny papers. That's when Uncle Frank and my dad had the restaurant, Pool Hall. And on the end of the block, there was a barber shop. And I'd stand there and sell the funny papers. And then I also worked next to our restaurant was a dry cleaning place. and the people lived upstairs. They're pretty well to do, and whenever they'd have people from out of town come, I got to help with setting the table and meeting all the people. And she put a little fancy lacy apron on me. And then also across the street there was a printer, and Pat and I got to go over there and with paper that they didn't use, we got to do our drawing and coloring and painting. And my next job was working at the drugstore,
What was the name of the drugstore?
Stryker's Drugstore. And that was only about 2 blocks from our house. And this lady and man that I worked for, he had Harrelson Shoe Store, and she had the drugstore. And the first Christmas that I was with dating your dad, I got $100 for a Christmas present. I'll never forget. I thought, wow, that's really neat. And I started out making 25 cents an hour. And then after we got married, my boss, Mabel Stryker, she wanted us to buy a house, so we bought the house from her, no down payment, 3,000, what was it, 500? 3,500?
Yeah.
And we only had to pay 3% interest. And with the first 2 children, we didn't have insurance. So she'd say, oh, Teresa and Jim, don't worry about it. You get that there, hospital bill paid, and then you just start making your payments. And they also had an electric for refrigerators and wash machines. And I don't know what else it was, but anyway, I got a brand new wash machine and refrigerator for cost. She let us have it a lot cheaper. She was real good to us. And that's the end of the story about that one, I guess. And then, what's the next
What
question?
kind of a wash machine was it?
Maytag,
Ringer?
Ringer wash.
What about refrigerator?
Well, I don't know what kind that was, but it was a good one.
What did you have before that, an ice box?
Icebox on the porch.
Okay.
Oh, about that icebox, didn't the dogs eat the deer meat one year?
No, that was,
What?
no.
I thought we left it out on the porch.
We left it out on the porch to cool. We didn't have any icebox, so.
We had the icebox out on the porch. We had to put up a ticket on the window to get a 50-pound or 25-pound.
Oh, maybe you're right. I don't
You
know.
put a ticket on the window, what,
Well, that would be when you needed
It's a
ice.
square card, and it had 25, 50, 75, and 100. And you'd turn it up to in the window as to which one you wanted, 25, 50
for ice?
for ice. And then the guy would chop off so much when he come around with a wagon and haul it in the house and put it in your,
How much did that cost?
oh, I don't know, it wasn't much.
Ask him about the first time you went hunting. Who went?
First I gotta ask about his job. What was your first job?
My first job, I worked at A&P store, picking fly crap out of pepper. Oh, no. It's a tough job.
Oh. This is going to be a laughing video.
No, seriously, my first job, I was 14, 15 years old. I used to set pins at the arcade bowling alley, and I got 3 cents a game. That's what before they had electric pin setters. The guy had roll a ball down, you pick the ball up and roll it back on a kind of a runway, and then you pick the pins up and put them in the rack and spotted them. And
You walked from the north side to
I
the
worked
south.
all week. I worked until 1 o'clock in the morning. Then I had to walk home because the buses quit running at 12 o'clock. And that was about 2.5 miles from home. And then I worked there for, like, say, 2 years. And then I got a job on a section in the summertime. My dad got me a job on the pounding spikes and on the stuff, putting in rail and that on the railroad. And yeah, that was when I was 16 years old then. And then I got a job at train company for about 6 months. And
CC camp.
and then where else did I go?
CC camp, right?
Oh, then I got a job at the lacrosse trailer company, bucking rivets. And then I got a job on the railroad as a switchman.
What about the CC camp?
Oh, I was in a CC camp for a year,
Okay.
How much did you make there?
making little rocks out of big rocks.
What was the What was the food cost?
What was your pay?
Pay $1 a day.
CC camp?
Yeah.
And how much did you give at home for?
Yeah, what did you do
I
with your
always
money?
give half my money to my mother and dad.
Because it
Whatever
was,
job I ever had.
because it was during the Depression, right?
Yeah.
Does anything stand out about your school or your childhood memories? Any certain story? Is there any favorite thing that happened?